know who we are. You know who we are. We are Q.P.R.
Main match is Queen's Park Rangers against Burnley, a skillful and entertaining game for you. We're going to support that with the All Midlands clash between Coventry and Wolves, and the match that was right at the top yesterday, between the top two in fact, Ipswich and Middlesbrough. Our studio guest today, Gerry Francis of England, the skipper of Queen's Park Rangers. And we're going to be looking up an old Arsenal star in our Where Are They Now series, and a look at the letters that you've been sending us as well. But first of all, let's get straight on to the action at Loftus Road, the home of Queen's Park Rangers. The pitch looking in very good condition, the sun shining down. And first of all, here are Burnley, the team that was swept out of the cup last week by Wimbledon, a team with a job to do now to repair that damage and sustain their bid for the First Division Championship honours. They are in fact only 2 points behind the leaders, Ipswich. So now they come to London to face the fast-improving Queen's Park Rangers side. And first of all, let's catch up on the two teams for today's game. Queen's Park Rangers field the side that beat Southend in a cup replay in midweek. 2 goals by the number 11, Don Givens. As for Burnley, they've had changes forced on them. Defenders Colin Waldron and Ian Brennan are out through suspension and injury respectively. Colin Morris makes his first appearance in the league at number 7. But what about Rangers, and particularly new signing Don Masson from Notts County? How is he settling in?
We've played 4 league matches and 2 cup games, and the league matches have settled in quite well. And the results, I think the results have shown that. We've settled in well as a team, and but I think obviously Stan's playing very well and Don Givens up the front. The defence are playing well, and I think it's a team effort at the moment.
And for Burnley, what about that Wimbledon defeat? New skipper Doug Collins.
Well, I would imagine quite a bit of pressure, but we're trying to put the game behind us, and we're going to roll our sleeves up today and try and put on a good performance. It's quite an honour to be skipper. It's the first time I've ever skippered Burnley.
The Queen's Park Rangers manager, Dave Sexton, in the centre there, enjoying life again after those last unhappy months at Chelsea. The referee today, Dennis Turner from Cannock in Staffordshire, and the crowd now waiting for the start. So Burnley kick off, attacking the goal to our left, with, as their skipper Doug Collins has said, a job to do after that defeat by Wimbledon, and Fletcher going in straight away, but McClintock getting it away. Burnley just 2 points off the lead, although they're in 7th place, and a foul by Clements giving them a free kick, the foul on Leighton James, in the opening seconds of the first half. Keith Newton wearing number 2, but quite obviously we're playing at left back, his former England position, with Peter Noble over on the right. There's Newton then with the free kick curling in, and in fact a good header up there by Hankin. There's James again, and that's going to be a corner. Burnley in fact who rather enjoy the London air. They've not lost on their last 3 visits to London, a 3-3 at Chelsea, a 1-0 win at Arsenal and a 3-2 win at Tottenham. Fletcher right there in the middle of the picture again, and now it's going to be a corner taken by Leighton James. Hit low this time, and Noble was right in there, and now Thomas playing against his former club, and Collins trying to stop him, but he can't. Newton didn't judge his tackle well, and Thomas fell down late. There was a free kick, and David Thomas against his former team. To Rangers in October 72 for £165,000 from Burnley. Don Masson will take the free kick for Rangers. Don Givens is poised on the far side, and they all came running out, the Burnley defenders, and the referee giving the free kick. Rangers couldn't get back quickly enough. So here's Newton. James. Could be quite an interesting struggle between Leighton James and Dave Clement, because they're both pretty fleet of foot. Gerry Francis, Masson unaware that Hankin was behind him, and here's Noble for Burnley. Ingham won't get to that one. Now Thomas showing his paces on the far side. Slight suspicion there that he was having his shirt pulled by Ingham. Played back for Gillard. Inside now for Gerry Francis for Queen's Park Rangers. A long raking shot. Oh, and my goodness, Stevenson was late going down for that. From Francis, and Stevenson, the England under-23 goalkeeper,
looked to be late going down for it, pushed it away for the corner right at the end, which Stan Bowles will take for Q.P.R. And Rangers have got 2, 4, 6, 7 men up for this. Really putting pressure on this Burnley defence, and it curls right in, and Stevenson, again, didn't know too much about it. Complaining that there was an assault on him. So it's Burnley's ball. Paul Fletcher underneath this one, nodding it down nicely there into space for James. McClintock and Francis between them trying to snuff him out. It'll be with Keith Newton. Shot for Peter Noble, and hit well! Curling all the way from Peter Noble, causing Phil Parkes just 1 or 2 little flurries there until he gathered it safely. Bowles. Free kick, foul by Thompson. Thompson giving his version, I think, probably saying that it was a bit of a dive by the Rangers player. I don't think it was. It was a quite legitimate free kick, which Gillard has now taken for Queen's Park Rangers. Givens again has got up well. He could be such a danger, as he was indeed to Southend the other night when he scored both goals in that cup replay. McClintock, Bowles, nodded down again for Gerry Francis, and hit superbly first time. What a goal that would have been. A beautiful nod down, and taken first time with great power by the Rangers skipper, Gerry Francis, but just too high. Hankin, nicely taken on his chest, and a nice little pass there, sending Leighton James on his way with Collins outside him. Still with James, now the pass for Collins, and he's going to struggle to get to that one. I think he pulled out right at the last and gave Rangers possession. Clement now finding Masson, and now Thomas saying, I want the ball as well, but Masson taking it up still. Now it's with Thomas. Played on for Bowles. Clement's aggression again winning him that ball. Masson hitting it first time. Oh, and a good one too. But Stevenson had to push away for the corner. Masson, number 4, looking for his first goal since he arrived from Notts County. And for a moment it looked as though he might have got it until Stevenson pushed it away. Corner then to Q.P.R, which Masson will take. Webb right up there, hindering Stevenson, right in front of him there. Was nearly one for Givens. Bowles now. Knocked away by Newton. Bowles curling that one away for Masson. Looking good at the moment, Rangers. Played for Bowles again, but Burnley have got so many players back, 10 in fact in all. Well, he was on his knees there, Fletcher, when he nodded that one away, and not too many people forward for them. Burnley's throw. Just over a quarter of an hour gone, no score. Noble, Ingham, Noble. Forward for Morris. Really the first run that Morris has had at the ball, and he's played it on for Leighton James. This could be dangerous. Played inside again, and it nearly fell for Hankin. But now Thomas can take it up for Rangers. Inside for Masson. They really do spring men forward quickly, and here's Beck. Played for Bowles, played again almost for Beck, and Rodaway there, keeping his head, keeping his cool, and making the interception. But here's Masson. Ingham, plenty of class and skill out there so far this afternoon. Ingham now for Burnley. Now it's with Gerry Francis. Showed too much of that to Noble, who's a good, strong tackler. James keeping it in, but doing well. There's some good wing play here this afternoon. Now James for Burnley. There's the cross going in. Oh, and it could go dangerously there against Queen's Park Rangers, and they could still make a mess of it. Webb twice had a chance to get that away, and twice refused to take it. Now Newton. Now Collins. Here's Noble. Played wide for Morris. Chipped in again there, that time Clement got it away. But here's Morris again, with Ingham supporting him. James. Ingham with the cross. And Hankins' header falling easily for Parks. Jimmy Adamson in the centre. On the left of the picture, Brian Miller, for so long a great Burnley defender. Rodaway then, crossing it in. Will it come again for Hankin? Now will it come for Leighton James for Burnley? No, stopped by McClintock. And McClintock really sticking close to the Burnley player, but somehow he's got away. James now, and they've got a corner off Ian Gillard. But how on earth Leighton James, and you can hear the applause around Loftus Road for that superb piece of trickery. Looked as though there was no way past McClintock. So Thompson up there again. There's the corner going in, and a good catch by Phil Parks. Setting Rangers in motion straight away, but before they can go too far, the whistle has gone for half-time. The man of the first half for me, in which Rangers have had rather the better of the things, has clearly been Don Masson, their number 4 from Notts County, really taking charge in the middle of the field and still talking as they go off, giving advice and giving orders, with Frank McClintock, their number 5, who's had another good game in defence. But a lot to come on the big match this afternoon still, but a half-time score at Loftus Road in this first division game that reads Queen's Park Rangers 0, Burnley 0, and we'll be back with the second half in just a couple of minutes. Well, welcome back then to Loftus Road, 0-0 here. Rangers, in fact, looking for a certain amount of revenge, because when the two sides met at Turf Moor, Burnley thumped them 3-0. Mind you, Rangers have not lost since then. That's really where their good run started. There's Masson getting in, and Thompson only half getting it away. But now Burnley coming away. Since they lost at Burnley, Rangers have gone 6 without defeat. And in fact, they've won their last 4 league games. But although they had the better of the first half, they still haven't been able to break this goalless scoreline. McClintock beaten in the air by Hankin. Francis back to Clement, and Noble jumping well to win it. Hankin again. Newton, James. Webb getting that one away, but only as far as Collins, thanks to playing his first league game, and really I think it showed a little bit there. He was a little bit nervous and snatched at his shot just a little too much. Ian Gillard. Yes, he just couldn't quite get high enough there. Noble, there's a shot, and what a good save. Now, can Gibbons get another shot in? No, that one's flashed away as well. And Collins now can take it up to the other end. Tremendous piece of goalkeeping there by Alan Stevenson from Don Gibbons. And he couldn't quite get his second one in either. Good defence by Burnley. Now it's with Ingham. Morris. Oh, he beat Gillard well. Time to get his cross in, and it's not a bad-looking cross to Paul Fletcher on the far side. Not it down for Ray Hankin, and McClintock stopped him too. Masson. There's Gibbons. Now, can he beat Rodaway? Yes, he can, but he's brought down, and the crowd didn't like that at all. And Gibbons wasn't very pleased with it either. The referee going across, I think, to intercept Billy Rodaway. Just a quiet, cautionary word with him. But he has looked such a good young defender. But that was clearly a free kick. And Rangers will take this free kick now with Don Masson. Played into Gerry Francis. Trying to get a 1-2 going, but it was so crowded. It was a very ambitious hope, really. Hankin. McClintock. Gillard. Game really has picked up the pace of the first half now. Dave Thomas again. Gillard and Francis have gone out there. They've taken Burnley defenders with them, which is perhaps more important, but there's a good catch by Stevenson. That looked like a push in the back by Rodaway. And the referee decided to play the advantage. Now it's with Thomas for Rangers. And it's a good-looking cross, always tempting the goalkeeper. Beck with a shot, and Bowles missed the shot. Turned back for Francis, and he turns it over. All starting with that superb cross from Thomas. Always tempting Stevenson, and yet Stevenson could never quite reach it. Beck had a bash at it, Bowles couldn't quite, and finally Francis turned it wide. But no doubt that Dave Thomas was the man who set it all up. That's really got the crowd going. Beck losing out to James. But winning it back, and a free kick given to Burnley. Crowd not happy with that one. Keith Newton for Burnley, in for Leighton James. Newton. Oh, and it's a fall maybe for Hankin. A good piece of defence by Gillard. Little openings coming up at both ends. In all honesty, Rangers seem to be making more of them, but Burnley are always there with a chance, and now Morris taking it up for them, and there's the Rangers defender, I think it's Ian Gillard, injured. James. Crossed in again! Oh yes, a tap in there for Hankin. And Ray Hankin, number 8, has put Burnley into the lead, while the Rangers defender Ian Gillard was down. It went across the goal line, past Phil Parks, and in the end was an easy tap-in. Queen's Park Rangers 0, Burnley 1. There's the man who scored it, Ray Hankin. Now into double figures with 10 goals this season, and there's the man who didn't see it, Ian Gillard. Well, it looks fairly serious, that. Rangers down then to 10 men, and Don Shanks, the substitute, warming up. And Thompson away. Now it really is a match for Rangers to win. Beck, remembering they lost 3-0 up at Turf Moor. Beck to Masson, played on for John Beck again, and a good shot. Oh, and will it go? No. Gibbons almost had a tap in himself, crossed away across that goal again, and only for Leighton James to pull it away again for Burnley. Well, one tap-in was very nearly followed by another, as that was only half stopped by Stevenson, and it looked as though it must be a tap-in for a moment for Gibbons. Now it's Newton for Burnley. James. Oh, and Parks had to tip that one away too. Corner for Burnley. And Gillard looks as though he wants to come back on. So a corner to Burnley, which Leighton James will take. And that time it was headed off the line from Paul Fletcher. Linesman flagging on the far side for an offside decision. But they really did come quickly out of defence on a couple of occasions there, Burnley, once to snatch the lead, and then Paul Fletcher having his header nodded off the line. Gillard to Thomas. Trying to get past Billy Ingham. Feeding Thomas a lot in this second half, Rangers. Beck trying to let one go on the loose, and it very nearly crept out of Stevenson's hands. back. Leighton James coming out quickly. Oh, and he's got the better of Gillard, and Gillard almost rugby tackling him, and the linesman deciding not to flag because the Burnley player had possession. Now that's either a throw or a free kick. Linesman giving Gillard a piece of his mind, and it looks like a free kick to Burnley, which James or Collins will take. Doug Collins, in fact, the Burnley skipper, is going to take this one. And Hankin and Fletcher are waiting there for the header. Fletcher with a header, fisted over superbly by Parks. What a good jump by the young number 9 from Burnley, Paul Fletcher. And equally a well-timed flick over by Phil Parks. So for once the players switch to the other end. Burnley with the corner. And it's with young Colin Morris. Doug Collins now. Burnley's throw. Noble. Givens nodding it on. Beck allowing it to run. And Hankin getting back. The front men are getting back quickly for Burnley and making life very difficult indeed for Rangers as Newton turns it back to Stevenson. Played back for McClintock. Now for Clements again. Thompson flicking that one away from one number 5 to the other. McClintock trying it with Bowles now. Out of play, I think. Goal kick to Burnley with 2 minutes now to go. And that time Stevenson threw the ball into the crowd. And really Keith Newton pulling him away from that situation, the referee going down there as well. I'm sure the crowd behind that goal are giving Stevenson some stick, but it's absolutely pointless him wasting time to that degree. In fact, the policeman's gone in there to sort things out. Slow hand clap coming for Alan Stevenson. Just over a minute of injury time gone. Free kick taken quickly. Rangers know there's no time to be lost. And now they're looking for a long clearance from Phil Parks, and the referee's looking at his watch. And Francis trying to duck in. Now can Francis do it yet? Down he goes. And flashed across the face of that goal, though. Wide by Thomas. 2 possibilities there. It looked for a moment as though they might even get a penalty. Then when it fell for Thomas, they might get a goal. Neither thing happened. And it's still 1-0 to Burnley. Gillard's header. Thomas. Beck. Masson on for Beck again, and he couldn't get there because Noble was there. Nicely killed by McClintock, though, as the final whistle goes, and Burnley, the team beaten by Wimbledon in the Cup last week, have come to London in the First Division and beaten Queen's Park Rangers by a goal to 0. Ray Hankin, the number 8, the man who got the easiest of goals, that's quite simple tap-in. Jimmy Adamson, the Burnley manager you saw there for a moment, must be well pleased with the way his side withstood so much pressure without key defenders Colin Waldron and Ian Brennan. And so we come to a final scoreline at Loftus Road. Disappointing for Rangers fans because they saw their team have more of the play. Rangers 0, Burnley 1. But a very good game. Amazing to think there was only 1 goal in it, though, and amazing to think that after throwing so much forward, Queen's Park Rangers had nothing to show for the afternoon, and I'm sure our guest today would agree with that. Gerry Francis of England, skipper of Queen's Park Rangers. Just wasn't your day, was it?
No, it wasn't, Brian, no.
And in fact, you couldn't do what Wimbledon did.
No, but this is football, you know. This is the way things go at times, and I thought we were very unfortunate today.
Where do you think things went wrong for you yesterday?
I always believed that football is a game with a hell of a lot of luck in it, and I just didn't feel that we had the breaks where it mattered, and Burnley did through an unfortunate incident, I felt. And once you go one down, they close things up, which they tried to towards the second half. It's very difficult then to break it down and to get the goal, which we didn't do.
Sure. So the luck didn't go your way, but you had in fact Don Masson. I think a lot of big match viewers seeing Don Masson for the first time. Let's have a look at one or two of the things he did, and then you can tell us about him, Gerry. Here he is in action now. He picks up, he's in the centre of the field. He does seem to like to give a few orders, doesn't he?
Yes, he picks it up now. He's aware of things all the time, and he's looking up now, and he's going to play this out to Dave Thomas.
That's a beautiful ball. What, 35, 40 yards?
It's a very good ball, yes, very good ball with both feet. It's a great ball to him. Switches the play very well.
Seems to have a bit of Terry Venables about him.
Very similar to Terry. Here, David plays the ball forward to him. He lets it run. He's looking up again. He's aware that David Clements is on the right-hand side of your picture, but instead he plays a short one in to Stan here now, who comes short to him and gets a return. Now this is where he's aware of players all the time, because Leighton James is behind him here, but he knows he's coming and he lets it run and switches the play again to the left, which is a midfield player's ability.
In fact, in many ways, he's been a bit of a lucky omen for you, because that's the first game, I think, since he joined you that you've lost. Has he really made all that difference?
I think he has, yeah. We were the type of side which needed a general like Terry Venables, who could change the play, can hit these 30-yard balls, and I myself needed it, and Stan needed it, and Don needed it. And that was the type of team we were. And I don't think we ever found a replacement when Terry left and went to Crystal Palace. And I think that now we have found a replacement. I think we were back on the road again to how we were before.
Now, you've mentioned it, the goal that Burnley scored with an element of controversy about it. Before we see it, though, let's just talk about the fact that Ian Gillard was injured in the 6-yard area, and you felt, what, that the referee should have stopped play?
Well, I feel that referees have got to use their own discretion in these sort of incidents, and that I know referees are very concerned about players conning them with
I think
injuries.
the Football League are as well. I think
And
that's why at the start of the season
well.
they asked referees not to blow up straight away.
But I feel that you won't find many defenders conning referees in their own 6-yard box, in their own penalty box, which is going to cause their own team, their own defenders, so many problems. You can't play offside, you've got to hang back. And there's no way that you will see any defenders conning referees in this sort of situation. And I feel that referees should assess the situation and do accordingly.
Let's have a look at that incident then. We can see, in fact, this is the moment here, Gerry, as you look at it, that Ian Gillard gets injured.
Yeah,
Hankin is
right.
the man, I think, making a genuine attempt for the ball, whether it was a late challenge or not.
Yeah.
Now what happens?
Now it goes out here to Doug Collins, who then switches the play quickly out to Ingham. Number 4, who then plays it wide again. Now they're stretching us very well, actually.
And that's where Ian Gillard would be.
Because we're a man down, that's where Ian Gillard would be. Now we're having to compensate for that. And he plays the ball behind us, where we're outnumbered. And Ian Gillard is still on the floor here in this situation and hampering players. Players go around him and that. And Leighton James gets the ball, goes to the line. I think he falls Phil Parks a bit here, thinking he was going to pull it back.
I was going to say, is the big man at fault
goes
there?
inside him. Well, it's perhaps a bit difficult there. I mean, there are things happening. There was a player on the floor and it goes across and Hankin puts it in. You know.
But it's the referee's discretion, and referee Turner felt that the game should go on. I think the managers at a meeting earlier this month said that they felt that the game should be allowed to go for a minute to see whether or not a player was injured or not. There was 24 seconds, in fact, between Gillard being injured and the ball going into the back of the net.
But obviously a lot can happen in 24 seconds, as they just show you. They can score a goal, you know. I feel that I don't agree with what the managers were talking about a minute. I feel that this is... people can be injured very badly and severely in a minute. And I think that the quicker the treatment gets to people in certain times, the better.
Gerry, let's talk about you for a moment, because it's been a good season for you. You've had a couple of England caps as well. How have you reacted to that?
Well, I think that's part of the profession, you know. It's professional footballers' biggest goal, to become an England player. And I think basically your bread and butter is with your club, and anything on top of that is all well and good, you know.
What about this game coming up in Cyprus, though, in the next few weeks? That is going to be a problem for everybody, I think, isn't it?
Well, having seen the pitch on the big match a while back, I wouldn't have believed that the game could have gone on, considering the chaos there, etc. But obviously Don Revie and the Football Association have been over to see the pitch and to see the facilities and the security, etc. And it seems to be going on. So we'll have to wait and see.
And you want to be a part of it?
Of course, yes.
Gerry Francis, thank you for yesterday, and thank you indeed for coming in today.
Thanks very much.
Thank you very much.